Have a good day, YouTube land, and also some social media lands. Welcome to an all-new video. In this video, we're doing a movie review of a new film that just came out a couple weeks ago, and is based on true story, very heavily fictionalized, about something that happened back during World War II. So we're going to get right into that. Before we do that, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss this video and the other videos I put up. As always, people, if you enjoy my content here on YouTube, definitely check out my other social media platforms such as X, Patreon, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Pretty much post on those regularly, so definitely check them out. As always, people, let's get right into this. So welcome one and all to an all new video. So like I was saying before, we're going to be doing a movie review of a new film that just came out a couple weeks ago, and is based on a true story, of course very heavily fictionalized, during World War II, called The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. Yeah! The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. Yeah! So this awesome film, which was super fantastic, came out a couple weeks ago, like I said, and is just a really fun take on the actual, true story that happened during, World War II. And if you're not familiar with what this, group was, they were actually a faction that Winston Churchill got. That he grabbed these different soldiers from different units and stuff like that, and created kind of like this, kind of almost like secret service for him, behind the enemy lines type of kind of dudes to go in and take care of different things for him that the regular military isn't being able to take care of, basically. And so this movie is very much, it has some pros, it has some cons, where it tells the, the actual truth versus being very heavily fictionalized. But otherwise than that, it actually did a really good job of giving us a really great presentation of what these guys did and what they put into it, and kind of like how thankful we are for them for doing what they did, because their their work at what they did actually helped bring us, the United States, into the war to be able to, help them stop the Nazis from overtaking the world. So, I mean, these guys were really amazing people. Most of them received, of course, the Purple Heart. They all were just really amazing men that, put their line down for the whole country. And I think they are just amazing guys. And I thought they did a beautiful, amazing, awesome kind of like telling of their story in this film by giving a very action-packed but very comical way too of it that was just really well done. Now, if you're not familiar with the director of this film, he is a great director that's directed a lot of great things over the years, and is just a really fantastic filmmaker. And that, of course, is Mr. Guy Ritchie. Oh yeah, Guy Ritchie, woo, Guy Ritchie, yeah. So Guy Ritchie is such a great director. I mean, everything from his, Snatch, to Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, to, more recent things he's done. He's just a really great director, and he always has a great eye for action, great eye for comedy. Just amazing director and writer too, because majority of his films, usually he writes the screenplays for his films. So I think he's just all around a really amazing talent in what he does. And this film is, no different than any of those other things he's done. Now, I really enjoyed what Guy Ritchie did with this film. I like that he made it like an action comedy, but at the same time he showed really great respect to these great, war heroes and these soldiers, and what they basically put their, lives on the line for. And I think that Guy did a great job of getting great action sequences, getting great, comedy elements into it, and he got great takes out of all the actors that were involved in this film, and actresses, and they all worked so well together. And I just enjoyed, what Ritchie decided to go with in bringing such great scenery points that he put out, and there are a lot of great points that he did at giving us just really great film that was just super enjoyable, very entertaining, and just overall a really great story. And I think that he had a really great eye for the locations he decided to use for the film, especially because of the ones that he was basically having to reproduce that, you know, are I'm sure look a lot different today than they did back in the 1940s. And so, I mean, I think they did a good job of recreating that too, and he had a really good eye for making it look very much like the 1940s during this film, and I thought he did a really good job with that. Now, if you're not familiar with Guy Ritchie, definitely a film you should check out that he's done, that he did a really good job with, and probably one of my other, you know, great favorites of his is a great film that came out a couple years ago and just recently got turned into a TV series on Netflix called The Gentleman. Yeah, The Gentleman. Yeah, this movie is so freaking awesome. Matthew McConaughey, Colin Farrell is in it, and it's just a really awesome, like, gangster type of film that, you know, has great elements of comedy, but lots of great action and just really great dialogue. And once again, I think that The Gentleman really shows how great of a director Guy Ritchie is, and how he has a really great knack for writing screenplays, writing stories, and all that kind of stuff. Because the dialogue in The Gentleman was just so phenomenal, and everything that it brought out about it. Because, like, even all the actors and actresses that were involved in the film, they all delivered so well at what the lines and dialogue were in that film, and just made you very engrossed. It really, like, sucked you in, and how, you know, wonderful that writing was. And I think Guy did a really good job of bringing that to life and giving us this really solid film that, if you haven't seen, highly recommend check out. Great acting by Matthew McConaughey. Colin Farrell was absolutely awesome in it too as well. All the different people that were involved in the film were just really fun, and overall I just think it was a really amazing Guy Ritchie film. If you haven't seen The Gentleman, highly recommend go check it out on Vudu, on you know, cable, wherever you watch things. Definitely check it out. It's worth the watch. A really great Guy Ritchie film, and I think Guy Ritchie did a really great job with it. Now, like I was saying with, you know, the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Men, like I said, I think he did a phenomenal job with this film. I think he did a great job, and overall I think he just made a really fun, awesome movie and a great addition to his filmography. If you haven't seen the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare yet, definitely go check it out in theaters now. It's worth the watch. So this movie has a really great cast, a lot of great actors and actresses that were just all so amazing in the film, from Alex Pettyfer to Henry Golding to Isaac Gonzalez. They all were such great parts of this film. They all did a really great job. I mean, Maury McCann's take on Winston Churchill was phenomenal as well. The prosthetics were really well done, and I thought he did a really great job of bringing Winston Churchill back from the dead, because he was exactly how I feel Winston Churchill was, and other documentaries I've seen him in and stuff like that, portrayals. He did a really fantastic job. But this group of actors and actresses just really brought this movie together and gave us a really solid film. Now, to start us off is none other than kind of one of the main leads of the film, Mr. Henry Cavill. Oh yeah, Henry Cavill, woo, Henry Cavill, yeah. So Henry Cavill, of course, you might recognize as Superman from the last few years. You might recognize him from The Witcher. You might recognize him from The Man from U.N.C.L.E. and so forth and stuff like that over the years. And he's just a really great actor. I have really enjoyed him over the years, his development, his growth in different films, you know. And I honestly feel he's probably the second best Superman that we've had to date that was comparable to Christopher Reeves. Christopher Reeves will always be the #1 greatest Superman actor ever, and Henry Cavill is tied with him because he was just so phenomenal as Superman, and just his presence and everything about Henry, it just, you know, oozes with just greatness, and I just really enjoy him in anything he ever does, and I always find him just, you know, always surprising me with different new moves that he brings to his acting and so forth, and I really enjoy that. And I think that, you know, he's just more than just being, you know, a guy with, you know, that's in really good shape, that looks Superman, you know, ripped and all that kind of stuff. He actually has great talent to him. He has great comedic timing. He has great action chops, but also he has great dramatic presence to himself and all that kind of stuff, and I'm really impressed with the work he's done. Now, another great film you should definitely check out of his, if you haven't seen it, especially after seeing him in the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare, because he was absolutely fantastic in this. He was so amazing as that character. He did a great job, and overall I just really enjoyed his whole presence of the character. I liked his leadership. I liked what he brought to it. I loved the comedy he brought to the film, and just was really enjoyable. But that movie is definitely, you should check out for his acting abilities as well, is in the great 2013 film called The Man of Steel. Yeah, Man of Steel. Yeah, his first outing as Superman. He really was amazing in that film, because he exuded everything about Superman. His look, his talking, his presence was all amazing. And I think that he definitely deserved to get some, accolades for how great he was in that role, because he did all the different kind of features in that film. I mean, he did dramatic, he did action, he did lots of great dialogue. It was just really, a worthy performance of a nomination for any type of award. And I'm surprised he didn't get any, because he truly was amazing as that character. And I think that Man of Steel is probably one of his greatest films to date. So the fact that he came in and became Superman, and everyone now goes, I love Christopher Reeve as he is Superman, but I see Henry Cavill now as a Superman too. He is one of the greats, and he will go down as one of the great Supermans ever. And I think Henry did a great job of bringing that life, because he knows how to bring to life his characters, and he did that with, Man of Steel. If you haven't seen Man of Steel for Henry's performance, definitely check it out. He did an amazing job. But like I said with, the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare, he just was so freaking awesome. His look was really cool. I loved the beard, the mustache, how it looked and all that. Thought he did a great job. His comedic timing in that film was on point and so super funny. But at the same time, when he had to be serious, he did a really great job of portraying that too, being a leader and ushering his men into the direction he needed to usher them into, and getting them out of situations that they needed to. And I thought just Henry did a great job. If you haven't seen Henry Cavill in anything recent, definitely go check him out in The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. He was really superb in it. So that brings me to the last actor I'd like to talk about that was in this film, and that is another breakout I feel that I was really impressed with in this film, because I've watched him over the years in different things, and I think he's a decent, action actor. But this film really showed that he has some really good, acting chops of portraying different ethnicities and stuff like that. And that, of course, is Mr. Alan Richardson. Oh yeah, Alan Richardson. Woo, Alan Richardson. So Alan Richardson, who plays a Swedish soldier on their team, is a amazing portrayal of this soldier. He was an amazing character. He was really well done, and Alan did a great job of bringing him to life and giving us a really solid interpretation of him. And of course, I know it was more on the farcical side, but still, I think that he gave a great presence of what maybe in his ethics of his fighting and what he did for this country. He really showed, I feel exuded that what that soldier really brought, and I thought Alan did a really great job of bringing that to life in this film. But he had some great comical moments. He had some great scenes that he just was action-packed and awesome, and he just really kicked butt as this character, and I really enjoyed what he brought to his character in this film. Now, if you haven't seen Alan Richardson in anything else, you can definitely check him out in a great film that is not the greatest of the series, but is still very entertaining, and I enjoyed his character and definitely his evolution of his character in this film. And of course, this film called Fast 10. Yeah, Fast 10. Yeah, I really enjoyed his character in Fast 10. I liked how he pretends to be this good guy, but really is a bad guy the whole time. I did not see that coming, and I thought that Alan did a great job of bringing that to life. I liked his evolution of the character, and I thought that he just really exuded great, acting talent in that film, and showing that he could play different sides and play different types of, from heroes to villains versus, kind of like how he's been portraying Jack Reacher in the Reacher show, how he played Aquaman in the Smallville TV series, and so forth, and just kind of, he usually always plays good guy type of characters. So it was fun to see him play like kind of a middleman that ends up being a bad guy, and I thought that Alan did a really good job of bringing that to life in Fast 10, and I really enjoyed that he gave us that kind of that presentation of showing that he's got some decent acting chops on him as well, and that he is more than just an action star, but he actually is a decent actor. If you haven't seen Fast 10 for Alan Rich's performance, definitely check it out. He did a really fantastic job in it. But overall, I really enjoyed his character in the Ungentlemanly Warfare, and I thought he just did a really fantastic job and gave us a really solid performance that, you know, was very comparable to Henry Cavill, very comparable to Henry Golding, to Alex Pettyfer, to, you know, pretty much anyone that was Isaac Gonzalez and so forth. They all did a great job and gave us a fantastic performance. And I thought that just Alan was really, you know, fun and entertaining in this film. If you haven't seen Alan Richardson anything recently, go check him out in the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. He did a really amazing job. So what is the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare about? Basically, it's about this group, like I said, that Winston Churchill brings together and basically sends them on this one particular mission as they are a part of his Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. And basically about them taking this course and kind of the obstacles they have to go through to get and complete their mission, and kind of the craziness that ensues with that, and do it all in an action kind of comedy, kind of based on the true story iteration. I mean, it was really well done. I mean, there's some great scenes throughout this whole entire film that are just super entertaining. I mean, the action in this was so well done. Guy had a really great eye for what he wanted to do with certain action sequences. The scene where they're going to overtake the boat that they end up taking over was amazing. That sequence, we have some really great comedy going on there. So the scenes where we see Alan Richardson's character like killing different people and stuff like that was really cool. The action was really done well. He had some great scenes with Isaac Gonzalez. You know, it happened to interact with different, you know, German people and, you know, the allies of the Germans, Italian people and stuff like that. And I thought that, you know, it all worked really well. And I think that there's just a lot of great scenes that were just on point. And like I said, the performances of Rory McCann as Winston Churchill were really phenomenal too, and just were amazing too. Just a really well done film. Really enjoyed it. I thought Guy Ritchie did an amazing job, and overall I just think it's a really fantastic film. Giant Tangled to move boxes up. Definitely will be adding this to the collection, to my Guy Ritchie collection, and I just think it was a really well done film. If you haven't seen it, highly recommend go check it out in theaters now. Worth a watch, people. So that's it for this movie review, guys. As always, thank you for watching. Thank you for liking. Also, thank you for subscribing. And just a huge shout out to all of my new and old followers. Thank you very much for getting me to the milestone on that. Thank you very much, and keep on just, you know, sharing my stuff with people. Thank you for watching. And of course, if you want to show support for the channel, definitely check out my awesome Patreon page, where you get all kinds of cool extra accoutrement you don't get here on my YouTube channel. As always, people, if you have been here before or haven't been before, don't forget to check out your older new videos if you might not see mine yet. As always, people, I will catch you in the next one.